They say the snowstorms of Suralis can tear the flesh from your bones in under a minute. I never believed that, until the day I saw one do it. It was the fourth rotation of the ice cycle, and the wind had howled like a dying beast for hours. I was alone in my shelter, a dome carved into the base of a frozen cliff, reinforced with crystalline bark and heat filtration mesh. It was enough to keep me alive. Barely. I hadn't seen another soul in 13 local days. Not since the expedition went silent. Not since the humans landed. I was told they were monsters, pale-skinned, two-eyed devils who burned forests to the roots and bled planets dry. Stories passed down from the outer colonies said they melted ice for sport, turned oceans into fuel, and hunted sentients for DNA templates. So when I heard the sharp clatter of something slamming against my shelter door, I assumed it was a wind until I heard the voice. Hi. Frantic. Muffled by snow. I flicked open the external monitor. That's when I saw her. She was covered in frost up to her shoulders, a silvery sheen across her armor and her skin. Gods, her skin. Pale as moonstone, glowing faintly blue where the cold had set in, and her eyes, twin stars, burning bright through the storm. An elf, I thought at first. A specter. Some illusion conjured by cold and madness. Then she stumbled again and hit the door hard. I opened it. She fell in. Her body convulsed as the heat hit her. For a moment, I thought she was seizing. Then she looked up and saw me and froze. Literally. She didn't move, didn't breathe. Her pupils dilated like prey in the presence of a predator. Her lips parted. You're human? I blinked. I was about to ask you the same thing. We stared at each other. Two species caught in a moment suspended between fear and survival. Then she coughed and collapsed. I dragged her to the radiant stone slab near the thermal vent. The ice cracked off her armor in brittle chunks. She looked like she'd walked out of a myth. Silver hair in intricate braids, pointed ears lined with microcircuitry, and beneath it all, a faint violet glow at the collarbones. Some kind of biotech. She wasn't entirely human. Not anymore. She came to after I poured warm distilled meltwater over her neck. You should be dead, I said. The storm would have flayed you. Her eyes fluttered open. I was looking for the signal. Saw a shelter marker. I thought it was unmanned. I chuckled. Surprise. She tried to sit up, winced, and held her side. Fractured rib. I noted. Clean break. You a medic? Engineer. But I know how to keep things from falling apart. She managed a faint smile. I'm Elora, she said. I hesitated, then replied. Call me Kale. Hours passed. The storm only got worse. We talked, carefully, like prisoners sharing a cell, unsure whether the other held a knife. She was part of the human expedition, Project Icewake, sent to chart mineral veins on Suralis. Her shuttle crashed. No backup, no contact, just cold and a long walk. I thought this world was dead, she admitted. It was, I said, until your people came. Her brow furrowed. I'm not your enemy. Tell that to the glaciers your terraformer cracked open. That wasn't supposed to happen. Neither was the collapse of the North Spire. Her voice dropped. We didn't know about the native biospheres. The storms wiped our drones before we could map. You shouldn't have come, I snapped. Silence. Then she whispered, maybe not, but now we're both here. That night, we huddled near the thermal vent. The storm outside screamed like it knew we were together, like it hated us for surviving. Her breathing was shallow. She was getting worse. There's a medkit in the crash site, she said. About 7 clicks east. You won't make it. I wasn't planning to go alone. I shook my head. Even with thermal gear, that storm will kill you. Her eyes found mine. Then I guess I have to trust the alien I found in a cave. I laughed short bitter. You think I'm human. Aren't you? I rolled up my sleeve. The veins in my forearm glowed faintly green, not blood, but bioflux. Our kind had adapted to radiation and freezing temps generations ago. I wasn't human. Not really. She stared, but she didn't recoil. She leaned in. You're not what they told us, either. We left at dawn. Visibility was low. Wind at our backs. Her heat signature flickered weakly on my wrist tracker. Halfway through the trek, a ridge gave way. She fell. I caught her, barely, and hauled her up using an old mining hook. She looked at me like I was something sacred. And for a moment, I wondered what else they'd told her about my kind. We reached the wreckage 6 hours later. Her shuttle was buried under half a glacier, but the signal was alive, flickering, barely functional. Inside, I found a medkit, stabilizers, antibiotics, cryo patches. She collapsed beside the control console. I treated her. We patched the wounds, sat in silence. Then she looked at me. I wasn't scared of you, not really. Not at the door. I raised a brow. No. I was scared of what I'd do if you weren't human, or kind, or real. I didn't know what to say, so I took her hand, and for the first time since the expedition died, I felt warmth. Weeks passed. The storm broke. The shelter became our home. We rebuilt the beacon, set up rations, shared stories. She told me about Earth, its chaos, its fire, its ambition. I told her about Soralis before the humans came, how the ice sang when it cracked, how our people carved knowledge into glacier walls, how we danced with the auroras before they faded. We weren't enemies. We were just survivors. Then one morning, the signal returned. Her people were coming. She was going home. We packed what little we had. She turned to me. I want you to come with me. I shook my head. I belong to the cold. You don't have to. She took my hand, placed something in it, her pendant, a crystal filled with memory code. If you change your mind, this will lead you to me. She stepped into the evac craft. It rose through the sky, and I stood there, a shadow in the snow, wondering if maybe the monsters weren't who we thought they were. Epilogue, legacy. They say the snowstorms of Soralis can tear the flesh from your bones in under a minute, but they also say they sing to those who listen. Now, when I walk the ridges alone, I hear echoes in the wind, laughter, footsteps, a name, Ellora. In the coldest places, warmth can still be found, not in the sun, but in each other. If you enjoyed this story, subscribe to Stacker Edge for more first contact twists, emotional sci-fi, and alien perspectives with heart. Until next time, stay sharp, stay curious, and never stop listening to the storm.